November ODMHSAS board meeting to order. First order of business, if I could ask everybody to rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. I'd like to welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today, our guests, staff, etc. Welcome to the board. It's a rainy day. Everybody drove safe and is okay. All right. First of all, do we have a quorum? Feel good. All right. I'd like to entertain a motion, assuming everybody's had a chance to read and review the minutes from last meeting. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson? Yes. Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to item 3 of the agenda. Ms. Reed, would you come and walk us through the program certifications?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. In the category of alcohol and drug treatment programs, we are recommending permit for temporary operations for the following programs. Drug Recovery, Inc., doing business as Catalyst Behavioral Services out of Lawton, Oklahoma City, and Enid.
Very good. Do I hear a motion to approve? Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of alcohol and drug treatment programs, we are recommending permit for temporary operations for the following programs. OKCBH, OPCO, LLC, doing business as Renewal Springs out of Oklahoma City. And may I continue, please?
Yeah, please.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Pawnee National Mental Health LLC, doing business as Pawnee National Behavioral Health out of Pawnee. Tunnel Vision Recovery LLC out of Cache.
Very good. Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion.
And a second? Thank you. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of alcohol and drug treatment programs, we are recommending certification with special distinction for the following program. Creoaks Mental Health Services, Inc., out of Oklahoma City, Shawnee, Pawnee, Stillwater, and Eufaula.
Very good. Do I hear a motion to approve Creops? Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of alcohol and drug treatment programs, we are recommending certification with distinction for the following programs. Action Steps Counseling, Inc., out of Tulsa. Muskogee County Council of Youth Services, Inc., out of Muskogee.
Very good. Do I hear a motion to approve these 2 certifications?
I make a motion.
Second. Thank you.
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of alcohol and drug treatment programs, we are recommending 2-year certification for the following programs. Beginnings Recovery, LLC, out of Oklahoma City. Narconon of Oklahoma, Inc., doing business as Narconon Arrowhead, out of Canadian. Our House, MHSA, DNL, Inc., out of Duncan.
Make a motion.
Very good. Thank you.
Second.
And a second? Go ahead.
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of alcohol and drug treatment programs, we are recommending 1-year certification for the following program. Compass Counseling and Wellness, LLC, out of Antlers.
Very good. Do I hear a motion to approve Compass?
I'll make a motion.
And a second. Thank you.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson? Yes. Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of Comprehensive Community Addiction Recovery Center programs, we are recommending certification with special distinction for the following program. Drug Recovery, Inc., doing business as Catalyst Behavioral Services out of Oklahoma City, Enid, and Lawton.
Very good. Do we have anyone here from Drug Recovery, Inc., doing business as Catalyst here today? No, okay. Well, they are 100% compliant on all standards and are eligible to receive a refund of their certification fee, so congratulations to that. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
And a second? Thank you.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of outpatient mental health treatment programs, we are recommending permit for temporary operations for the following programs. Care Center, Child Abuse Response and Evaluation Center, Inc., out of Oklahoma City. Choices for Change Behavioral Health and Substance Abuse, LLC, out of Oklahoma City. Nehemiah Community Development Corporation, out of Bartersville. Noble Minds Community Mental Health, LLC, out of Norman. Stillwater Domestic Violence Services, Inc., out of Stillwater.
Very good. Do I hear a motion to approve these five?
Make a motion.
And a second? Thank you.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of outpatient mental health treatment programs, we are recommending certification with distinction for the following programs. Cornerstone Counseling and Consulting, Inc., out of Oklahoma City. Cornerstone Counseling Services, LLC, out of Hugo, McAllister, and Idabel. Crossroads 1010, LLC, out of Antlers. Multi-County Counseling, Inc., out of Purcell, Ada, Wewoka, and Lawton.
Is there anyone here from Cornerstone's Hugo, McAllister, and Idabel locations? Or from Crossroads in Antlers? Okay, well, both of those organizations are 100% compliant on all standards and are eligible to receive a refund of their certification fee, so congratulations to them. Do I hear a motion to approve these three?
I make a motion.
And a second? Thank you.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of outpatient mental health treatment programs, we are recommending 2-year certification for the following program. Pinnacle Counseling Services, PLLC, out of Dell City.
Very good. Do we hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Thank you. And a second?
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper? Yes. Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of outpatient mental health treatment programs, we are recommending 1-year certification for the following program. Our House, MHSA, DNL, Inc., out of Duncan.
And before you take a vote, I think you should recognize Dr.
Yes. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. Glad you made it.
Sorry, my GPS took me
That's
all
a-
over the world.
That's all right. Okay, do I hear a motion to
I
approve?
make a motion.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper? Yes. Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of community-based structured crisis center programs, we are recommending certification with special distinction for the following programs. Central Oklahoma Community Mental Health Center, out of Norman. Creoaks Mental Health Services, Inc., out of Sapulpa and Tahlequah. Hope Community Services, Inc., out of Oklahoma City.
Very good. Do I hear a motion to approve these three?
I make a motion.
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Raymond?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper? Yes. Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of programs of assertive community treatment, we are recommending certification with special distinction for the following program. Family and Children Services, Inc., out of Tulsa.
Anybody here from Family and Children's? Ah, very good. Congratulations.
You guys are 100% compliant on all standards and eligible to receive a refund of your certification fee. Thank you for being here. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Randall?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper? Yes. Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
In the category of community residential mental health programs, we are recommending certification with distinction for the following programs: Homestead Residential Care, LLC, out of Veneta; Spears Management Co., Inc., doing business as Boley Residential Care Home 1, out of Boley; Spears Management Co., Inc., doing business as Boley Residential Care Home 2, out of Boley.
Anybody here from Homestead? No. How about Spears doing business as Residential Care Home 2 out of Boley? No. Okay. Both of those are also 100% compliant on all standards and eligible for a refund of their certification fee. So congratulations to those two as well. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Yes. Thank you.
Mr. Randall?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina? Yes. Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ms. Reed. Thank you so much to the board members and all of the effort that has gone into these certifications. I know that a huge amount of work goes into this with the provider and here in the review process. So let's give a round of applause for all that got certifications today. And thank you to those of you that are here. Okay. Thank you again, Ms. Reed. It's a lot of work. I'd like to turn to the commissioner for a little bit of discussion from you, if you have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to give you an update on what has happened since our last meeting. It's been very busy in a lot of different areas, but as you may or may not know, I have a monthly meeting with all of our facility directors, administrators, et cetera. So that happened a couple weeks ago. Very good discussion. Basically, I want to hear from them on what they feel are some challenges that I need to deal with or the agency needs to deal with. I'd rather do that in person than do it via Teams or a Zoom call. So that meeting to me is very beneficial. So that happened earlier this month. I also visited with several of our vendors, Cree Oaks, Grand Mental Health, Green Country, Lighthouse, Hope, North Care. And again, most of that discussion had to do with this ongoing situation with our contracts, the ones over 800 that we reviewed when I first came on board, and trying to make sure that I listened to their concerns, that again, the decisions were made either to not renew or reduce funding, and then of course those that were in statute we certainly had to adhere to. So anyway, my understanding was really before I arrived, those vendors didn't have much communication with leadership. And to me, you're not going to resolve anything unless you have an opportunity to hear from your constituents, so to speak. And so that's why that meeting is very important, to let them talk one-on-one with me and to have all of them collectively in this room, as a matter of fact, to air their opinions about the way forward in dealing with our contracts with those vendors. Thanks to my media team, headed up by Jennifer Hogan, we had a lot of media activity this past month, which I did an interview with 9, the Daily Oklahoman, toured the University of Oklahoma Health Science Center, and I think I would say, generally speaking, the stories that were written and reported were balanced, in my opinion. I know my comms director probably will not want me to say this. She always says, "What are you going to surprise me with?" I felt the op-eds were not balanced that were written. And so we are going to lean forward and start writing and hopefully getting published our own op-eds, and we'll hopefully get the chairman to pen one and others who have a voice here at the mental health agency to give their view of what they've seen, not only in the last several months, but even beforehand. So I think the op-eds that we're going to publish will certainly tell our side of the story. I visited several state agencies, Healthcare Authority. I spent a lot of time with individuals over at the Capitol, Senator Racino, Chuck Hall, who, as you may or may not know, is the person that controls the purse strings. So we've had to brief him on our budget moving forward, and hopefully, and if you didn't know this, you can view our budget either on the House or Senate website. It's been published. So we need to work closely with them, keep them updated on what we're doing over here. And you may or may not know, they passed a bill at the end of session. It's called the Mother May I bill. We have to go over once a month to basically present our budget and to make sure it's balanced. And so this takes a lot of extra work, and this was put in place because the legislature didn't know who was going to be sitting in this seat. And so this is going to stay in effect for at least the end of session and maybe longer until this agency can get in the proper financial situation where we're able to make sure that they're satisfied with what we're doing. We did brief the legislature, or the House, this week, and we're going to come up with some dashboards that they will be able to view and see our budget and see where the money is going. And so in full transparency, both the House and Senate will have this available to them. And so I think this will be a big step forward to help show where this agency is and where it's headed, what we're spending money for, et cetera. Also had a meeting with Rob Arrington, who's with the Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs. We here at this agency also deal with veterans, and so we had a question, and so having worked over at ODVA before, Rob was a good person. He oversees all the homes, 7 homes that we have at ODVA. So we had a question for him, and so he came over and was able to provide some oversight, not oversight, but insight into the issue that we had at hand. I've had a couple meetings with Dave Ostro. You've probably seen his name in the paper. David is the new COO at OMES, and so, and also a Navy guy. So we were able to connect right away. So David is now in charge, and we have to visit and keep him up to date on everything that's going on over at this agency. And so needing to establish a relationship with him, because I really didn't know him that well until he came on board. Met with Senator Fritz. He had a constituent issue that he wanted to bring to my attention, so we sat and visited for about an hour and a half. And the good senator said, if there's anything I can do to help you in your efforts here at the agency, I stand ready to do so. Also had a meeting with Senator Julie Daniels. She wanted to meet with me. We had never met, so I met with her. I had 2 meetings with the governor, both having to do with our budget. He needed to fully understand our budget and some of the things that we were wanting moving forward with the budget. The money we were requesting for the consent decree. We were also requesting extra money for IT. We were also needing extra money for an electronic health record. So there were several things that we had on there that were going to be one-time charges, and so we needed to brief him, make sure he was aware of that. And so he basically nodded and said, okay, we'll actually see if in fact this comes to pass, because really the legislature is the one that controls the money, and we will see the first week of February if our budget is approved, and hopefully, according to Senator Hall, they felt that they could approve our budget that first week of February, which would when they're in session, which would certainly be very helpful to us. Also met with Representative Lawson and his group, and we pitched not only our budget again and went through it in great detail, and we also visited with him and his group with a second meeting this week on the consent decree. And the consent decree, which many of you are aware of, is a very laborious process to work through, and it's much like, using a Navy analogy, it's much like turning an aircraft carrier into the wind. It's a very slow process. What we have to deal with is not going to be fixed by the end of this year or probably the end of next year. It's going to be a long process, and there's a lot of moving parts to it. There's a lot of individuals and organizations that we need to rely on to help us. Sheriff's departments, district judges, a lot of other organizations that we have to work with that have to come together to help us on this consent decree. So we briefed the legislature on that, the House that is, and so we were there for a better part of 2.5 hours, and I think we answered all their questions. We'll see, but again, in an effort of transparency and openness, we're trying to visit with anyone who wants to talk to us about the challenges that we have. We had a coffee connection where I visit with the employees, all the employees here in this building, and then it's also streamed live. And so this room can be opened up in that section behind you and goes even farther to the west. And so normally this room, when on that coffee connection, is filled with employees. And I will answer any questions they might have at that point. We have an agenda to hand out awards, et cetera, but that coffee connection is something that, again, it gets back to communication, making sure everybody knows where leadership's coming from, and an open forum to be able to answer questions. Just a sidebar comment. Before I arrived, you could not get to the 10th floor with this badge. Only leadership on the 10th floor could gain access to the 10th floor. That's where my office is, and other senior leaders. That made no sense. That seemed to only isolate leadership from the people doing the work in the building here. And so this is one team, one fight, and so all the floors should be open and should be able to have communication with me. My door's always open, and I have employees stop by all the time. They don't need a meeting unless the door's closed, and then I'm in a meeting, and then they'll schedule a meeting. But again, it's about full transparency. Had a meeting with former Senator Roger Thompson, who was the Appropriations Chair, who Chuck Hall relieved, and so Roger and I have become friends, and so I look and seek his counsel periodically, especially where the budget is concerned. Dave Roberts, Ride Care. He's the individual who provides the transportation to shuttle our consumers around Oklahoma, either from the jails to one of our facilities, et cetera. And he has a huge task. And so there are some challenges that we're trying to help with him on. And so that was a meeting that's very important to the organization that we provide transportation to move our consumers around. I received a debrief from Taylor Raines with Deloitte. We asked Deloitte to come on board as a consultant to look at several areas of concern that I had in the funding process for our vendors, for our CCHBCs. So anyway, we were looking at the pricing, and he conducted several interviews of various agencies within the state of Oklahoma that are in the healthcare space. And so he provided a debrief for me and my team after the report was made available. I didn't know this, but I also belong to the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Advisory Council, and so I attended my first meeting there. I thought that I was only going to be sitting there listening to my first meeting, but all of a sudden I found myself being the focus of the entire meeting because of what we do, plus, again, the consent decree came up, and I had to answer some questions that several of the members of that advisory committee were asking me. I had a meeting with Kathy Costello, the DA, Vicki Berhenna, Jeff Massey, her team, his team, to talk about an issue Kathy has. Many of you may know Kathy Costello. Her husband, Mark Costello, who was a county commissioner, met with an unfortunate death, and so in the healthcare, the issue revolved around healthcare. Kathy is an advocate for this, so she came and visited because there was a program that was not as active as it should have been, that she wanted our help to try to help her make sure that that program got reinstated. And so our team is working with her to work on that. I went to Oak Kick and Oak Crew for an appreciation celebration this week, and all these facilities recognize their employees, and so they asked me to come make these presentations, which I was honored to do so. And so that was, I think, earlier this week. But I also, this month, or since our last meeting, visited with Debbie Moran at the Carl Albert facility in McAllister. I took a tour of it. I visited with Terry Lee at Jim Talaferro. And of course, I'm trying to get around. The last one I believe that I need to get to is up in Fort Supply. And I've not made that one yet. I've had to cancel out on 2 different occasions because I just had a conflict and could not make it up there. And the last thing I'll mention is as you leave today, there's a young lady right out the door that welcomed you as you came in, and she'll see you as you leave. Her name is Liz Parker. Liz Parker has served at this agency for 26 years, and she's finally decided to retire from this agency, but she's been a strong force in advocacy for this agency and will continue to do so as she goes into retirement. So as you walk out, tell Liz congratulations. But Mr. Chairman, that will do my report. I'll end my report.
I think it should be said, Commissioner, that only a Rear Admiral would have the patience to turn this aircraft carrier, and thank you for all that you are doing.
Thank you. You bet.
It's a lot of work, and he's in my watching the effect of your incredible work on this organization from a culture standpoint, from a leadership and direction and path forward standpoint. It's I'm very grateful for your service, so thank you. Any questions from the board? For the Commissioner? It was a detailed report. I also would be remiss in not saying I'm glad to hear that that we are controlling the narrative a little bit more and putting that out there. So,
well, as you all know, this agency had appeared in the media quite a bit. Wasn't always good, and and that's why, really, when I first came on board, I was not willing to do any media interviews because I needed to get situational awareness for the agency. I needed to see and look around, walk the halls, and again, one of the things the employees told me in my first meeting was that they did not like hearing about this agency in the media. They would rather know in advance what is happening within the agency, and I've tried to do that the best I can with our internal communications and with our external communications, thanks to Jennifer and her team. I think we're doing a good job in at least putting our message out. And I don't want to, at least not everybody was happy with how the contract situation came out, and I'm not going to debate the pros and cons of that in the media. I'll bring those individuals in and we'll talk about it, but I don't want to debate it in the court of public opinion. I'd rather keep it to a point that we can talk about it and we can arrive to disagree, and if they want to go out at that point and do news releases, et cetera, that's fine, but I don't want to get into an argument within the media about what this agency is doing or not doing, et cetera. So, Mr. Chairman.
you're here. Okay. Hearing no questions from the board, we will move on to item 5 on the agenda. Dr. Wilsey, would you like to walk us through the Administrative Rules Committee.
Absolutely. The Administrative Rules Subcommittee, we met on Thursday, November 6th, and Mr. Keith Brackeen, Assistant General Counsel, presented our emergency rules changes to Chapter 17, and the chapter is included in your board book. The proposed Chapter 17 emergency rule amends language for CCBHC crisis services and facilities due to changes in the federal funding sources. These changes remove wellness services and individual placement and support services as required services. Additional revisions also clarify and amend requirements related to primary care screening and monitoring, outreach, and rehabilitation services. These emergency rules will be submitted to the governor for approval upon board approval and will become effective upon governor approval. These emergency rules will be followed by permanent rule changes to Chapter 17 that will include these and other desired language changes. The Administrative Rules Subcommittee recommends that the board accepts the emergency rule changes to Chapter 17, and Mr. Brackeen is available to answer any questions that the board may have.
Any additional commentary you'd like to offer?
Just briefly, after the board considers the emergency rule, I wanted to bring the board's attention to some permanent rules that are currently going to be, that currently are available for public comment, but I can address that in a moment.
Fair enough. Has everybody had I know the subcommittee went through this in painstaking detail with a lot of conversation, but anything that the board would like to ask about what you see here today? Well, hearing said motion from the committee, I would entertain a second to adopt these changes. Okay. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali? Yes. Ms. Stomberg?
Yes.
Dr. Wilsey?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Would say thank you to all who poured through that. Your team, Mr. Settle, board, everybody. So, go ahead with your, anything else, Dr. Wilsey? I didn't cut you off. Okay.
That is it.
Well, why don't you give us your other update?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Included in your packet and available also in the public's packet are proposed permanent rules for Chapter 17 and Chapter 23. These are permanent rule changes that are currently open to the public for comment. The Chapter 17 proposed rules are essentially going to be permanent versions of the emergency rules that are also that were just approved by the board. Chapter 23 is there's some new regulations being added to Chapter 23. Again, these are currently open for public comment on the department's website, as well as the Secretary of State's website. Those rules are open for public comment through December 17th. The department will come before the board in the new year to discuss the public comments and also to bring the rule in its final version to the board for approval. That's all I have.
Very good. Thank you so much. Any questions, comments?
I'd like to point out and give a shout out to Keith and the Rules Committee because when we got here, we really didn't have a group that was up to speed on the rules. Melissa Miller was here for a while, and she's moved up in the world and gone to OCA. Got to remember all of these acronyms.
Mm-hmm.
But Keith stepped up for us, and Dr. Wilsey, and I think they've done a good job with our rules. This is something that the department is going to need to do every year on an annual basis, and potentially more than that if we have emergency circumstances that we have to deal with through the rules. So I just want to shout out to the folks that did the work on this. They did a good job.
Here, here. There's a lot of ground covered very quickly and a lot of bullet points on these agendas, and a lot of people have worked really hard to get them there, so thank you all to echo that. Okay. Let's move to item 7 on the agenda. Mr. Henderson, would you like to present on the Corporate Accountability Subcommittee?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to point out, first of all, I am not the chair of this committee. Mr. Moore is still with us, but I believe took a new job. And so he's figuring all that out. So we were covering for him. So we did meet via Zoom Wednesday, November 11th. The Department's Advocate General, Joey Mickey, presented the Advocate General's report to the subcommittee and updated the committee on the work being conducted by his division. The report has been included in your book. There were a few questions that Mr. Mickey addressed, and he is present and available to answer any questions regarding his report.
We may have to start a running tally for who does more work represented by a bullet on this agenda, but it's a lot goes into that. Any questions from the board? If not.
Okay, if there are no questions, the Corporate Accountability Subcommittee recommends that the board accept the Advocate General's report, and I make a motion to accept this.
Is there a second?
I second. Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Molini,
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali? Ms. Stockbridge?
Yes.
Dr. Wilsey?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you.
The Department's Deputy Inspector General, Carol Dennis, presented the Inspector General's report to the subcommittee. The inspector's report was reviewed by the subcommittee. There were a few questions regarding the Inspector General's report, and a summary of her report is included in your board book. There was no further business discussed, and there is no motion on that item.
Very good. Thank you very much. I think we're, let's see, we're down to item 9. So back to Dr. Wilsey for the Performance Improvement Committee update.
Yes, the Performance Improvement Committee met on November 13th via Zoom, and we had 2 presentations for November's meeting. Ms. Lauren Stover, Facility Administrator for OKIC and OCRU, presented on OKIC's diversion rate. OKIC's presentation focused on diversion rates in comparison to their benchmarks, along with a brief overview of the services provided at both the Urgent Recovery Center and in crisis stabilization. Their services promote stabilization and diversion to community-based care, such as providing direct referrals to rehab and housing programs, as well as having liaisons from the local CCBHCs coming on-site daily to do warm handoffs to the lower level of care. OKIC's URC program goal is to divert 60% or more of consumers served from inpatient beds. From fiscal year 23, 73%, to fiscal year 25, 65.4%, the facility has seen a decline in the amount of consumers diverted, but still within the program goal. A partial reason for the decline is due to an increase in acuity and severity of illness seen in persons served, requiring inpatient admission. Ms. Lauren Bristow, Division Director of Quality Accreditation, presented on facility readmission rates. Readmission rates provide useful data supporting the assessment of numerous metrics, including but not limited to comparison to national and state benchmarking, quality of discharge planning, and the impact of health disparities on readmission. In addition, tracking and analysis of 30-day readmission rates are regulatory required measures. ODMHSAS collectively remains below the national benchmark of 19.4% readmissions within 30 days, with a system average of 18.16% as reported by CMS. Opportunities for improvement have been identified at the facility level in terms of data collection and subsequent calculation. Ms. Bristow is working to resolve the identified opportunities through education and consultation. The accuracy of data is also anticipated to improve with planned agency technology updates. Ms. Tracy Leeper reviewed our critical incidents report summaries and the circumstances surrounding these incidents. Dr. Nikki Taylor is here today if there are any questions. The Performance Improvement Subcommittee recommends that the board accept the critical incidents reports.
Very wonderful report. We'll take that as a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll, please.
Okay. Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Ali?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stockbridge?
Yes.
Dr. Wilsey?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
Or,
No.
Nikki?
Yes.
Go by Nikki.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on. to item 11, Mr. Henderson, would you like to report on the Finance Committee?
Sure. I just noticed that the Corporate Accountability Committee meets right after Finance, and so it was on November 12th, not November 11th. The Finance Committee did meet via Zoom November 12th. CFO Ben Scott provided an update on the financial status of the Department of Mental Health and presented a financial summary through October 31st. The department was on a temporary allotment through mid-September. The department was primarily on temporary contracts for 3 months ending September 30th. Procurement and finance teams have been diligently working to finalize contracts beginning October 1st and extending through the fiscal year. The delay in receiving the approved budget for FY26 also resulted in delayed vendor payments. The FY27 budget plan was submitted to Oklahoma Management and Enterprise Services by October 1st. Should there be additional funding needs for FY25 or FY26, it will be discussed with the legislature at the beginning of the spring session. I believe Ben is here. There was a lot of discussion around the budget. There's no motion this morning, but I'm sure he's available if there are any questions in regards to this.
Any questions from the board? I know Ben is working tirelessly with team to get his arms around this for the commissioner and leadership here, and we're grateful for all that he is doing, and look forward to more voluminous reporting
Yes.
in the future.
Yes.
Just a, quick question, I saw the report just looked different than our past ones. Is that the format going forward, or I just was
No.
curious? Okay.
I think we'll get back to
Okay.
something closer to what we were. I think they're still, he at least, is still in the process of getting his arms around where
Sure.
we are. Is that fair?
It's fair, yes.
Okay.
I think we need to get back to that, but
And that's where a lot of the discussion was centered around, so
Okay.
working on it.
yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Henderson. Every time I say your name, I have an urge to say doctor. I don't know why that is. Should be the honorable. Okay. Let's see. We need to move forward into, item 12. As a discussion with Mr. Cardin, I believe, on the purchase of property.
Yes. Good morning, Chair.
Morning.
So this morning, here to request approval from the board for the agency to enter purchase agreements for 2 pieces of property pertaining to the Griffin relocation project. So the first piece of property is located on the southwest part of the current SSM Health St. Anthony South campus. And so that is a 1.6 acre piece of property. It has already been scraped and is ready to build on. So we would like to acquire that property for the best interest of the state. Also provides a very good future site for any sites we'd like to open in the future on that campus.
Makes a very contiguous.
Yeah, so in your packet, there is a photograph that does allow you to see the campus and the way it will be and flow without the purchase of the property, and then also with the purchase of the properties.
Looks to me to be a very wise decision. Any comments from the commissioner on this?
No, when Chad brought this to me and he showed me the 2 pieces of property, on your diagram, the one in blue is scraped, as he said, and we were able to make an offer and a bid on that. I think, Chad, we went in at what amount of money and then came back and they took our...
Yeah, so we have negotiated an offer of $700,000.
And
so-
thanks to Chad's diligence and arm twisting, he got that down to a good amount, a reasonable amount. And then the area that's green on the right-hand side has a building in it. We're going to keep that building. And Chad, what are we going to do with that building?
Yes, so on Section 12B, the second piece of property will be on the east border of the campus. And so that property has a usable building on it right now. It was in the past a physician's office. So it has been recently renovated, and we want to purchase that piece of property as well to complete the campus. That will allow a site for the construction manager to work out of during the year-long renovation project, therefore keeping our funding within the project. We won't have to rent a job site trailer. It'll be a significant cost to the project that we would have to rent. We'd rather keep that money and invest it into property that we can retain for the future.
And just to follow on, Chad, you might talk about the annex up in the left-hand corner, and when it will be hopefully ready to be moved into, and how many beds we're going to have, and begin the transition from Griffin.
And so one more comment on the benefits of that property is we have a very narrow drive that allows us to access Penn right now. And so by obtaining that property, it will open up our access to Penn on the east side of the property, which will allow multiple access points to the annex, which is in the northwest corner of the property. And so
I would just say Chad and
Yep.
his team, of really one or two people in addition to Chad, have worked tirelessly on this and put a lot of effort into it. And this was not an easy project. As you all know, I think I may have briefed, or Chad may have briefed, that once we signed this contract with St. Anthony's, the contract you would normally think could be signed off on by the CEO president, and we would have ownership of the property once the sale was consummated. In this particular case, it had to go to the Archdiocese. It's a Catholic hospital. It had to go to the Archdiocese, and the Archbishop Coakley, was just one signature on the contract, and then it had to go to the Vatican. And so it had to go to a Vatican, and as you know, we have a new pope, and when that happens, the cardinals who work for him, there's about over 110, all get new jobs normally. And so I was not optimistic that we were going to get that contract back in time to be able to spend the ARPA money by the deadline. And that's been a whole issue that Chad and his team has been working with the appropriations folks and the person who heads up the ARPA project for the state. So he's done a great job. We're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel, and the annex will be the first section of that footprint that will be completed, and then the hospital work will begin once the contract is signed. And he has a good plan in place, and we're going to begin buying the necessary equipment. So, thank you, Chad.
And so just to further clarify,
Did Chad get to go to Rome?
No, you know,
we did not.
he did not get to go to Rome. I was first on that list. And so, and again, I sure didn't think it was going to get signed. And everybody assured me it would, and it did get signed. And so we've been moving full speed ahead to get everything that we need. And so now the big hurdle becomes, and we've selected a architect and an engineering firm.
Correct.
And so my words to them, and Chad has echoed it to them during the bidding process, that there is a sense of urgency. And the sense of urgency is to get this started and buy the equipment we need and move full speed ahead. Chad?
Thank you. And just to answer your question, the annex is a 32-bed facility, and we plan on opening that facility by the end of this year.
You're here. That's great news. Obviously, facilities is something that has been top of mind, I know, for the commissioner and certainly for this board. And this is a big step in the right direction. And Chad, I've seen Chad work on a number of different projects tirelessly, and no doubt this was, I mean, the one that we get to say state government moved faster than the Catholic Church. I mean, that's a win. So anyway,
I have a question.
questions?
So this is going to be a new facility, right?
Correct.
So what about the, there was a plan to make, rebuild the Griffin Memorial Hospital and, to a new location. So where is that project? Is it pending,
Yes, so to clarify, this is that project. This is, all of this that we've talked about, the
This is all a
annex
new project?
and these two pieces of property are all for the Griffin relocation
Oh,
project.
Griffin location,
Yes.
okay.
Sorry.
I was like, this is a brand new
No, yes.
idea, okay.
Right,
said
and,
it will be
and,
completed in-
and as you know, and you were here before I was,
Yeah.
but that everything was talked about the Donahue,
Yeah.
building the Donahue,
Right,
which was talked, and I guess it was signed off and trying to move forward, but it became a very expensive project. I think, what, Chad, $180 million?
$187 million.
$187 million. And then what are we paying for this project right now?
Will be $66.5 million.
So I think for the taxpayers of Oklahoma, this was a wise investment, and it was pretty much a no-brainer to move forward and sign off on this. And so, anyway, it will then move the Griffin facility over to this
so
this
area-
facility.
But you said it's a 32-bed hospital? How many beds, the facility? How many bed did the hospital would it be?
So the hospital that we are in the process of purchasing will have the potential of 192 beds.
100.
And so at the last revision of the Donahue, which was 187 million construction costs, that was only going to provide 170 beds. So for roughly 120 million, we will get more beds, the potential.
Why don't you tell the board how many beds there are in Griffin also?
Currently, there are 120 beds at Griffin.
Does the total beds you just cited include the annex?
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
okay,
Yes,
yeah.
the total potential beds for the new hospital includes the annex.
And we would welcome all of you to tour that facility when you have time, maybe even after one of your board meetings. We'll certainly do that if your time permits. But I have toured it just last week, and I'm very impressed with it. I'd seen it once before, but going back again and putting a new set of eyes on what was going to be our property, I was very impressed by what it looks like and the potential it has. And, of course, it's a building that used to be the Hillcrest Hospital and now St. Anthony's. So, it's not a brand-new facility, but structurally, I would defer to Chad on that, but I think we're really acquiring a good property that will be around a long time.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Is this going to be a full capacity, like children, teens, adults, geriatric, substance abuse, or what's the limits?
We do not have plans for that. Currently, we are going to replace Griffin Memorial Hospital in all of the programs it consists of, which would not include children.
Okay.
When you said the completion, I mean, we're looking at like 2-year program, when it start, like?
The first phase will be completed by December of 2026.
And then I think your question was, when would the hospital be completed? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Chad?
Yeah, so as of, we are currently, over the next 60 days, we're going through all those plans with the design team and construction team to see what our potential is for that timeline. Potentially, we are going to meet the requirement of 120 beds, so we can relocate Griffin by the end of 2026. That will be our first goal. Secondly, that's where over the next 60 days, we are going to explore what further potential we can achieve bed-wise in that hospital over the next 12 months. Just to reiterate, first focus is to replace Griffin Memorial Hospital in its current programs and bed count.
Okay, and I think you answered this question already, but the money that we're using is part of ARPA money, correct? To pay the.
Correct.
Right.
I think it's important for us to continue talking about those things. When we talk about the public relation and the issues about we need more money, and then we go out and buy land to make sure we know that these are not the dollars that we can be using to pay our bills.
Very good.
Right, and the ARPA funds have been around when COVID first appeared on the horizon, and that money times out. We've got to have this money spent for this project by the end of next year. So that's why Chad knows, and I tell him every day, there's a sense of urgency, and share that with our architects, engineers, et cetera, because we need to make sure that money is spent, or if it is not spent, then that's a whole nother issue that surfaces on on what we have to do to, if we come up a little bit short. But we're not going to come up short. We're going to move forward and get this project complete. Right, Chad?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well done. That was awesome. Okay. There are a number of, any other questions? I don't want to stymie questions and discussions on this. Hearing none, I think procedurally we need to do two separate votes on these two items. So collectively, Chad, more space, less dollars on a timeline, using ARPA fund. I mean, just really home run. Great work. Okay. Do I hear a motion to, let's approve 12A first on the agenda. The first, 12A is the first parcel. Do I hear a motion to
So
approve
moved.
that? So moved. And a second.
Second.
Right. Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Very good. And on 5835 South Pennsylvania, that's 12B. Do I hear a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Gina? Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Very good. Commissioner, to answer your question, item 13 on our agenda is our next board meeting dates, January 22nd, March 26th, June 25th, September 24th, and November 19th for next year. I would say I would very much love to tour the facility. I would defer to Jessica to coordinate one of our, weather depending, one of our next two board meetings, a tour for anybody on the board that would like to go do that after our meeting. I'd very much like to do that. So, we do need to solidify these dates before she goes and schedules that. So, do I hear a motion to
I make a
approve these dates? Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Reinmiller?
Yes.
Mr. Malini?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stomper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
All right. We are ready for a presentation on Casey Overstreet, from Casey Overstreet. Or was that it?
I'm going to introduce her.
Okay, all right, very good. So, go in instructions.
Okay, I've never met Casey. Is she here? All right, Casey, come up to the podium if you would. So, apparently, I was unaware of this, but apparently in the past, there have been testimonials like the one that you're going to hear from Casey at this meeting. And so, this is the first time that I have heard one of these testimonies. So, this young lady is from Comanche, Oklahoma, lives with her husband, Denver Overstreet. Is Denver here?
He's outside with my baby. She's getting loud.
There he is. Welcome. And she has 4 children, of which Denver is holding one of them.
Yeah.
And so she's a mentor and stand in the gap through Heather's Hope Housing. She's a stay-at-home mom while pursuing a full-time online college degree. Casey's testimony is dedicated to those who are still struggling with substance abuse, use, and to those who have found a way out of addiction, and to those who have lost the battle with addiction. Casey anticipates that her testimony will offer hope and understanding for real-life effects of addiction and mental health struggles. She shares her story today in hopes of continuing to cultivate the need for compassion and support for those in substance use disorder. So with that, Casey, you have the floor, and look forward to hearing your story.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here. Nervous, but we'll get through it. Okay. My story is a testament to the grace and goodness of God. It is an example to others that no matter how far down they have fallen, there is always a path of hope to lead them out of the darkness. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? Even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like day, for darkness is light to you. The earliest memories I have are of childhood sexual abuse, feelings of not truly fitting in with other kids, and rejection from my father for not being there when I needed him the most. Another event that had a lasting impact on me was being taken away from my mother at 8 years old and being placed in a children's shelter, then in guardianship with my grandmother. My mother was not to blame for the circumstance. After 2 years of being away from her, she was finally given custody back of me and my sister. This situation kickstarted my struggle with anxiety. I remember thinking that when my mom was late getting home, she was never coming back. It was not fair for a 10-year-old child to worry that their mama would not come back for them. As most recovering addicts share, when coming into recovery, they find that the addict characteristics started long before the drug and alcohol use ever did. This is the same for me. By the time I reached adolescence, I was doing things to chase away the unwanted feelings. I was self-harming by cutting, not eating, or even forcing myself to throw up. In my mind, if my body were thinner, I would be prettier and people would want me and value me more. This destructive behavior continued for so many years of my life. I was drinking and using marijuana by age 12. By 14, I was abusing pills. 16, I started using cocaine. I had already dropped out of school in 8th grade and moved in with a guy when I was 15 years old. I continued to pursue something that was never going to heal all the brokenness inside me. It was never going to tell me that the trauma I went through was not my fault. At age 18, I met Andrew. I believed we would get married and be together forever. We had our son in March of 2012. I was able to stay sober throughout this pregnancy. After giving birth, I was prescribed Loratabs, and wouldn't you know it, I was hooked to the feeling they gave me, or rather, the feelings they made go away. Andrew and I had always partaken in drug use throughout our relationship, but he began using methamphetamine. This drug did nothing for me, so I chose not to use it. Andrew and I were on and off. As a 20-year-old with baggage full of damage I had been carrying with me since childhood, I had no idea how to love. On April 27, 2014, Andrew Marcel Morrell Sr. passed away from a drug overdose in a motel room in Lawton, Oklahoma. The medical staff did everything humanly possible to bring Andrew back, but he was gone. I spiraled out of control. His death brought on a whole pile of grief and regret that I had never known before. But there was something standing on the sidelines of my pain, watching and waiting for me to acknowledge what it could offer me. This offer entailed no longer having to feel pain, no longer having to be uncomfortable in my own skin, no longer having to care about rejection, and most importantly, this offer gave me relief from the loss of Andrew. All I had to give methamphetamine in return was my very life, my soul, and the people I loved the most. So began my meth addiction. I left my son in my mother's care, and it really was not fair for a 2-year-old boy to worry about why his mama wasn't coming back. It was generational trauma making an appearance. I stayed sick and I stayed numb until 2016 when I spent my 3rd time in jail and was headed to rehab for my felony possession charge of CDS. In 2017, after 6 months, I graduated, but that graduation certificate did not give me the healing I desperately needed. I did not find the one thing that could chase the darkness from me. The Lord opens the eyes of the blind, lifts up those who are bowed down, and loves the righteous. Though I was far from the definition of righteous, He saw who I was underneath the addiction, underneath the brokenness. God offered me healing, life, and unconditional love. I wasn't ready to accept what He could give me. After leaving rehab, my addiction took a turn for the worse. IV drug use was my new vice. In 2018, I met the man who would become the father of 2 of my children. I had been through domestic violence before, but the violence between this man and me was on another level. It was a relationship that did nothing but take from one another's sanity and dignity. We had our daughter in March of 2019. I gave her up to my mother so I can continue my addiction to drugs and to my misery. I was facing my 2nd felony charge during this time. I reached a point where I was so tired of being sick and tired, yet even then I was not sick enough. I was sentenced to the Comanche County Community Sentencing Program. While facing accountability from the courts and my probation officer, I still could not stop using. The day that pushed me to leave Lawton was the day when the domestic violence between my child's father and me tore me down so much that I would have rather taken my life than go through one more moment with him. My grandmother drove me to the recovery center. In that parking lot of that detox center, my grandmother prayed with me and told me to ask God for help. She said, even if you mess up and use again, keep praying, Casey. He will help you. I did not know it at the time, but in that instance, my heart began to seek the healer of all things. A seed was planted that even the grips of my addiction could not destroy. After detox, I entered a rehab center and believed this was finally when my life would change. I found out I was pregnant with my third child, and this gave me an even bigger reason to stay sober. I graduated and stayed clean for about 3 months. I did nothing to fill that hole in my heart, and that's when my addiction came calling out for me like a long-lost friend. My probation officer did not give up hope for me. She asked the community sentencing judge to send me to another rehab. In September of 2020, I went to Jordan's Crossing inpatient treatment. I couldn't accept that I was back in rehab after just a few months ago, thinking I was finally free from my addiction. I left and found myself 8 months pregnant, sleeping behind a hotel with nowhere to go and no one to turn to. I continued to use, but there was something telling me to reach out for help, that it was not too late to fix the mess I had made. I got in touch with the director of Jordan's Crossing and was accepted back into the program. 3 days before I was to be back in treatment, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy. DHS got involved because of drug use. I was not allowed to leave the hospital with my child. It broke me because I was the only one to blame for the situation. I was the only one who could not stop being a drug addict for the sake of my children. I left the hospital without my child, but family members were able to take him into their care. All these things I just shared are what unhealed trauma, brokenness, grief, and addiction gave me. But my story did not end there. For the first time in my life, I chose to use the pain I was experiencing to propel me to do something different. Besides running back to my addiction, I chose to run to the feet of Christ Jesus. On October 27, 2020, I entered Jordan's Crossing and my life radically changed. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. My soul was worn down for far too many years. When I entered the doors of Jordan's Crossing, I did not stop to look back on my old life. I went forward with a newfound sense of purpose and the God-given will to change. While in Jordan's Crossing, I began to explore the traumas from my childhood and how they have had a lasting impact on the chemical makeup of my brain. I finally came to understand why I had such a difficult life with drug addiction. I was self-medicating to feel normal in a world where I didn't exactly fit in. I came to learn that I no longer had to be the victim. I no longer had to numb my feelings, mask who I was, or make excuses for my behavior. I could take accountability for myself with my head held high. I could accept the things I've done and go on to do the things that would no longer leave me in a place of regret. The most important aspect of my life that was cultivated while in Jordan's Crossing was the relationship I found with Christ Jesus. I knew what he had done on that cross so long ago, but his sacrifice brought a whole new meaning to the broken sinner I was. That seed that was planted in my heart in that detox parking lot was growing, and there was not a single thing to stop the healing love of Christ the Son. During my stay in Jordan's Crossing, I was charged with felony child neglect for using drugs while pregnant. I was done running from my problems. I knew I would face the mess I had made head on and do everything in God's will to rectify all the harm I had caused. I graduated from Jordan's Crossing after 90 days and was transported to Comanche County to turn myself in on my warrants. I was scared, to say the least, as I waited in the courtroom for the judge to call me up. Because she holds fast to me in love, I will deliver her. I will protect her because she knows my name. When she calls to me, I will answer her. I will be with her in trouble. I will rescue her and honor her. With long life, I will satisfy her and show her my salvation. To that judge, I looked like a horrible person on paper, which is completely understandable. but she allowed me to explain what I had been doing since losing custody of my child in that hospital. By the grace of God and whatever it was that the judge saw in me, she allowed me to enter into a sober living home the same day. February 5th, 2021, I entered Heather's Hope Transitional Living Home in Comanche, Oklahoma. Heather's Hope surrounded me with people who loved me for exactly who I was. They saw in me things I would not have been able to see in myself. God used Heather's Hope to set me up on a firm foundation and fill my life with beautiful people who stayed by my side every step of the way. Pam Dobbins, the director of Heather's Hope, did not allow me to face anything alone. She was the one who taught me how to have a deeper relationship with God. I will carry her teachings for the rest of my life. My program manager at the time, Vicki, gave me the strength I needed to stay even when there were days that tested my entire being. Through Heather's Hope, I found a friendship with a woman who expected nothing from me but gave me a genuine connection, a connection that taught me what a real friendship looked like. Pam Sanders never questioned why my feelings came out the way they did. She never questioned why I was crying after visiting my children. She only held space for me to be the raw version of myself. Pam healed parts of me that I didn't even know were there. Today, I stand before you. "5 years and 23 days clean from drugs and alcohol. I graduated from the community sentencing program, obtained my GED, had my license reinstated, and I received my peer recovery support specialist certification. In April 2022, I was given probation for my charges, and after 19 months of proving who I was becoming and correcting everything I had done, I was granted full custody of my 3 children. Healing is uncomfortable. It's messy. Healing will turn your survival tactics upside down and place you in front of the mirror of reality. It will show you all the bruised places of your soul and tell you your hurt is no longer an excuse to hurt others. Healing is hard, but healing is the key to living a life you have always deserved. If it were not for the community sentencing program, my probation officer, Jordan's Crossing, Heather's Hope, and countless other people who believed in me, I would not be here today, living a life that is giving hope to the hopeless, a life that will one day be what helps others out of their addictions. Let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story, those he redeemed from the hands of the enemy. In May 2023, I met a man who God would use to prove to me that love was not supposed to hurt and was not supposed to destroy your self-worth. Denver became my husband in March 2024 and became the father that my children deserved to have. He has showed me so much grace over the past 2.5 years. Knowing I have dealt with past hurts, he does all he can to be the man I need him to be. Through Denver, I have become a bonus mom to another son, and in January 2025, we welcomed our sweet little girl into the world, completing our family. That is 5 kids we share together, just so y'all know. Our home is loud, chaotic, and busy, but we would not have it any other way. I see in my children the child I once was, and I have been given the opportunity to raise them up to have a different life than I did. Healing, as I am trying not to bleed my past onto my children, has been a learning experience. I know there is something working right with the shift I have witnessed in all of my children over the past 4 years. My son Andrew is no longer that little boy who wondered why his mama wasn't coming back for him. He is a young man who knows his mama will always be there for him. Andrew's father did not get the chance to make it out of his addiction, but my life will be a living amends for the drug use that took his life. I will live a life for him and for our son that I know he would be proud of. My mother is the one person who has been by my side from the start of my addiction to the very end. She never once gave up hope for the day she would see me clean from drugs. She was the one caring for my children until I reached a point where I could care for them myself. I am forever grateful for the love my mother gave me, even during the lowest point of my life when I was the hardest to love. I started my online bachelor's degree program through Mid-America Christian University this year, and I won't be stopping there. I am going to obtain my master's in psychology so I can give back to the substance abuse and mental health field. I want nothing more than to use my lived life experience and education to help those who hold a place close to my heart. I want to show others that recovery is possible and their lives do not have to end in addiction. And I do want to note that I am celebrating a 4.0 GPA, just so y'all know. I'm kind of proud of myself. In the words of J.K. Rowling, rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. My rock bottom was what gave me the push to become everything I had never been. I was once a drug addict. I am now a woman who lives out her life in the hopes of helping all those who are walking down the path I was once lost on. And all these things I just shared with you are what recovery has given me. If you are struggling with substance abuse or mental health, please do not give up hope, and please reach out. There are so many people ready and willing to help you find a different life. My story is proof that recovery is possible. Thank you for your time.
Casey, thank you for your testimony. Know that you and all your delegation that's here today, this board, this commissioner, this department, cheer for you every day. And what you just described is why we're all sitting here and fighting. So thank you for sharing it.
Just one quick comment, Mr. Chairman. KC, don't forget that when you have that degree, keep us in mind, because I think we've got a place for you here.
Keep me in mind, I would be here.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for getting us back to testimonials. We need that, I think. So, any new business items that the board would like to raise, discuss, deliberate? Hearing none and hoping we all stay dry going to our cars, we'll bring this meeting to a close. Do we need a motion to do that? We do not, right? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We need a motion to adjourn. We need a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second? Second. All right.
Mr. Reinhardt?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Dr. Ali?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
We will see you all on January 22nd at 9 a.m. Thank you. Oh, that's right. We do have another, hold on. Real property meeting. You can't go just yet.
If you need to leave, you have to.
Yeah, you go, yeah? Okay.
Well, according to Robert's Rules Book of Order, you don't actually have to have a motion to adjourn.
I know.
Yes, I remember hearing you say that.
Don't run
Still
away.
like to do it.
We still do. I
tried to do it at city council, with city council, and they just freaked out.
created
Said, we're done.
a mutiny.
Got up, they're like, what?
Okay. Let's go ahead and call our real property trust meeting to order. We do have a quorum. We need to approve the minutes from our last real property trust meeting. Do I hear a motion to do that?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. A second? Second. Thank you.
Mr. Reinhardt?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Ms. Stopper?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson? Yes. Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Okay. Chad, you want to walk us through it?
Yep, good morning, Chair.
Morning.
All right, so we will start with the annual land inventory review. And so you should each all have a copy of the current land inventory for the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. Really don't have anything to discuss other than just give updates on the changes of the land inventory over the past year.
Okay.
All right, and so on the third page, we do have activity in ODMHSAS Real Property Trust, actually from November 2023 to now. So just go down the list very quickly. We sold property to Cleveland County Health Department in August of 2024. We did a deed correction to Veneta Industrial Development Authority in March 2024. Correction deed to City of Veneta in March 2024. And easement to City of Lawton of March 2024, and then land parcel in War Acres that was sold in April 12th, 2024. Then moving forward, these were all in 2025. We canceled the lease with the Mental Health Association of Oklahoma, which is the Lottie House, which all that has to do with the MAPS 4 Crisis Center project. We sold Griffin Park to the City of Norman in 2025. We put our an old satellite that we have up in Guthrie. It is now leased to a recycler. That land was put into the Real Property Trust on 10/29/2025. And then we sold property at 1501 Northeast 11th, which is Catalyst. It's known as the Catalyst property. So we sold that in April 2025. And then lastly, we closed 2 weeks ago on the 5.1 acres adjacent to TWCC, to New Jerusalem Baptist Church in November 2025. And then furthermore, on December 16th, we will close on the TWCC building in Tulsa.
Do you have, you probably do not have this number off the top of your head, do you have a sense for the total value of that?
I do not.
Okay, good talk. It feels like that number's getting sizable, and that's great. Okay. We need to have a motion to accept accounting of the Real Property Trust. Do we hear any questions based on what he just said, first of all? Any discussion? A lot going on there. Do I hear a motion to approve the accounting of the Real Property Trust?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Einway?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Ms. Stofford?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Okay. We want to go through the Culberson Heights.
Yes, so next, we approved the sale of the Culbertson Heights property for $1 and the previous Real Property Trust meeting, and so today would like to ask for approval and signature of the purchase agreement for the sale of Culbertson Heights for $1 to the City of Oklahoma City.
Anybody need a refresher on this? I think we know. Yeah, okay. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Mr. Einway?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina? Ms. Stofford?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. You want to, let's go to Cleveland County?
Yep. So next, would like, requesting the approval and signature regarding the possible sale of a 3.1 acre parcel just south of Food and Shelter on the Griffin proper. And so this will be sold to the City of Norman.
For?
$75,000.
There we go.
Apologies.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve this?
I make a motion.
Okay. And a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Einway?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Ms. Stofford?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
And then Chad, let's talk through the natural gas easement.
Yes, so next up is going to be the renewal. It'll be a 20-year renewal, so we just, we were in a 20-year easement lease with ONG, and so this is just to renew that lease, and so we did have a new appraisal done, and the new renewal will be for $90,500 over 20 years.
Well, similar terms.
Yes, yes, same terms.
Okay. Any discussion, questions? Do I hear a motion to approve the ONG lease?
So moved.
Or a second?
Second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Einway?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Dr. Gina?
Yes.
Ms. Stofford?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
You're doing a lot, man. Thank you.
I was going to say, that's all I have.
I wanted to read into the record our real property trust dates, similar to the board dates, January 22nd, March 26th, June 25th, September 24th, November 19th. We'll need to make a motion to codify those dates for the real property trust. Do I hear a motion to do that?
I make a motion.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Randall?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Dr. Dina?
Yes.
Ms. Stockard?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
We are going to adjourn this meeting with no motion per the Honorable Henderson's advice.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate all you do. Thank you all.
Thank